mean, controlling, manipulative, and arrogant. You know what I'm talking about. Narcissists. Narcissists are people with a narcissistic personality disorder, and they tear people's lives apart. They really do. They harm people emotionally so much. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you about what a narcissist is, how they act, why they act like this, and then hopefully if you are dealing with a narcissist, this will help you to heal, because really understanding why they're like this will help you heal, as they often blame you for everything. Hello you guys, and welcome to another video. Today's video is pretty heavy because if you know a narcissist, you know the immense negative effect that they have on you and others. So I'm going to start by just explaining with an actual online definition of a narcissist. So, narcissistic personality disorder, one of several types of personality disorders, is a mental condition in which people have an inflated self of their own importance, a deep need for excessive attention and admiration, troubled relationships, and a lack of empathy for others. But behind the mask of extreme confidence lies a fragile self-esteem that's vulnerable to the slightest criticism. I'll get into this more in just a second, but it is true. They seem like they think they're the best person. They act as if they are extremely confident, but behind all that is a very, very negative self-image and low self-esteem. That is one thing very important for you to know when it comes to healing from a narcissist. The next part says, people with narcissistic personality disorder may be generally unhappy and disappointed when they're not given the special favors or admiration they believe they deserve. They may find their relationships unfulfilling, and others may not enjoy being around them. So, it's a very complicated mental issue, and the fact that it is basically a mental illness, there's one side you say, you support mental illness, like people with mental illness, but at the same time, narcissists are just known to just not want help because they don't see anything wrong with them. But because they are like this usually because of something that happened earlier in life, or genetics as well. That can play a factor. But because they just have that extreme arrogance, they generally don't get help because they think that nothing is wrong with them. So that is one of the hardest things, is because sometimes this narcissistic person is somebody that you truly love, and maybe even somebody who was just amazing to you before, but then have changed. So it's really hard to see them suffer so much, because once you really know about narcissism, you know that they're really suffering inside, yet they take it out on somebody else. They take it out on the person who supplies them with everything they need. So that's another thing, is narcissists will always have, especially one specific person who will supply them with all of this. Now, this is extremely toxic. Narcissists end up causing so many mental issues, including mental illnesses such as depression or anxiety or PTSD, or just so many things, and often result in the death by suicide of the person that they're abusing, which can show you how extreme their abuse is. And that's exactly what it is, abuse. So in this video, and I have a part series that will be all about narcissists, and basically this is really made for people who are dealing with a narcissist and need help, because there's not always much you can do, but I'm going to do my best to help you explain and show you some things that you can do. So I'm going to explain some symptoms of a narcissist. I just have my little notepad. So have an exaggerated sense of self-importance. This all the time, because they always think, and this will come up later too, they always think that they are the most important person. Nobody else is better than them. And that's it. Sense of entitlement and require constant excessive admiration. Yes, because narcissists, they always will say, oh, didn't I do a great job? Oh, isn't that the best? Aren't I the best? Like, they will every single day constantly say things like that because they need constant reassurance. And this could be because they didn't get it maybe from their parents early in life. They didn't get it, so they're asking their supply all these things, and it deteriorates the person being abused. It really does. They expect to be recognized as superior even without achievements that warrant it. So if they could, I mean, in my opinion, nobody's superior to anyone in the world. And these people don't think so. Don't agree. Because they constantly think that they're better than everyone else, and without even, like, reason, basically. They exaggerate achievements and talents. So no matter how many times you've heard about their achievement or something they're good at, they will tell you all the time, and they'll show you, and then they'll exaggerate, and they'll have this mean look on their face and be like, see how good I am at that? You know, it's really scary. They believe they are superior and can only associate with equally special people. So sometimes, well, not sometimes, but pretty much all the time, they will literally say that. They'll say, I don't talk to anyone who's less than me, or I don't talk to anyone who's this or that or whatever, because they think that they are the best, and they only associate with other great people. They monopolize conversations and belittle or look down on people they perceive as inferior. Again, with the same thing. If they see anyone as less than them, which is most people, they will criticize them, belittle them, insult them to make themselves feel better. And this is what can cause such major destruction of a person. And this is why I'm making this video, so that you can see that this has nothing to do with you. It has to do with them and their major insecurities. They expect special favors and question and unquestioning compliance with their expectations. So they expect for everyone to bow down before them, always do exactly what they want, and they will get extremely mad if you don't. And they will bully you, and they will abuse you. They take advantage of others to get what they want. This is kind of within the same thing. If you don't do what they want, they'll make you feel so bad for it. They will make you feel like everything is just your fault so that they get what they want. They have an inability or unwillingness to recognize the needs and feelings of others. This is especially true for their supply. If their supply is suffering, but they're not happy with them, they don't really, seriously, probably don't care if they even die. That is absolutely disgusting. That is so sad, because this could be somebody's significant other, somebody's child, somebody's like family member. And if that person is their supply, they will not stop. And they will constantly just tear this person apart for no good reason and make them feel like they are the reason everything is wrong in their life. So they behave in an arrogant manner, coming across as conceited, boastful, and pretentious. Yep, for sure. And that's, again, because of their major insecurities. They insist on having the best of everything. This too, because they are the best, they must have the best. So also, some other points. At the same time, people with narcissistic personality disorder have trouble handling anything they perceive as criticism. So this is how they also manipulate people. Because when they feel like they did something wrong, or that anyone thinks they did something wrong, or that they just anything wrong with them, they literally freak out. because they can't handle the fact that anything's wrong with them. So if they seem like they're being blamed for something, or there's just so many things, and I can't think of everything, but they will lose it. They really will. And that is one of the worst times for the person who is their supply. So they become impatient or angry when they don't receive special treatment. Yep. If they don't get exactly what they want, they will be very bad towards their supply. They have significant interpersonal problems and easily feel slighted. Yes, this is all caused because they have major problems inside. And it's sad because they don't have to be like this. If they could just simply realize, they could go to therapy and become not like this anymore. They react with rage or contempt and try to belittle the other person to make themselves appear superior. Because they feel so bad about themselves, they will constantly make the other person feel and look as if they're the person with something wrong. And I'm putting down because they always look down on that person, for sure. So they have difficulty regulating emotions and behavior. Yeah. So they seem to not be able to control anger much, and any other feelings. They just seem to not be able to control it. Experience major problems dealing with stress and adapting to change. Yes, when they get stressed too, extreme issues, extreme anger. Feeling depressed and moody because they fall short of perfection. Yep, when they feel like people don't see them that way, that they want to be seen, they feel very depressed and they feel very moody. And when I say depressed, I mean like usually narcissists actually have depression, because otherwise it's sadness and being upset, because depressed means depression. So have secret feelings of insecurity, shame, vulnerability, and humiliation. As I keep saying, they have all of these feelings, and that's why they act the way they do. So also, as it says here too, people with narcissistic personality disorder may not want to think that anything can be wrong, so they may be unlikely to seek treatment. If they do seek treatment, it's more likely to be for symptoms of depression, drug or alcohol use, or other mental health problem. But perceived insults to self-esteem may make it difficult to accept and follow through the treatment. Now, sometimes this can be it can be carried down through family. So let's say somebody's mother has it, then they have it, then their daughter's gonna have it, then their daughter's gonna have it. But if you ever recognize aspects of your personality that are common to narcissistic personality disorder, or you're feeling overwhelmed by sadness, consider reaching out to a doctor, a trusted doctor, or a mental health professional, as they can help you. Because sometimes it's almost inevitable, because if it's like a parent, you grew up with this behavior, you think that's normal. So then that's why you could become the same way. And as long as you can realize that, you're golden. So that's basically the gist of a narcissist. And I cannot begin to explain, unless you know for yourself, how literally traumatizing that they can be to you. And yes, a lot of them do die by suicide because of the abuse is so rotten and so bad. And oftentimes they will make you feel awful, and they will threaten you when you try to leave them, whether they're anyone in your family or a significant other. So this is part 1. Part 2 is in the description, and then I will continue this narcissist series for you guys, and I really hope that this can help you and help others, and I'm just happy to be here to be able to provide this to you. And if you need anything, please let me know on Instagram at Dancing Away the Stigma, and also in the comments too. And just know that you're not alone, and there are so many people dealing with narcissists, and there's so many people out there who are dealing with that, and they can understand you a lot more than anyone else, okay? So please, also don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, and yeah, so check out the next video. I'll put it here and in the description, and yeah, please stay tuned for the next videos, because I just know that there's so many people suffering out there. And so many people who always look to, well, I know why they might be like this, but what if you can't leave? Because often when people go for help and say, look, I'm dealing with a narcissist, what do? They say, oh, you have to leave. But sometimes people can't leave. Sometimes maybe they're a child. They cannot leave no matter what. Because maybe they don't have any other family, so they can't leave. So that's when it becomes an even bigger problem and can go on for so many more years. So that's what the next one's about, is how to actually deal with a narcissist when you cannot leave. So thank you again so much for watching. Thank you so much again for watching, and I appreciate every single one of you, and take care.